What's up everybody? Welcome back. So we are going to continue to test double Legacy Charizard in the Master League Premier Cup. Now, like I mentioned in my previous video as well, I managed to get hold of a lucky hundo, which I obviously then invested in an Elite Charge TM on it to unlock Blast Burn. And I got a lot of comments on my previous video asking if Dragon Breath Charizard is worth the Elite Charge TM. And honestly, in my opinion, it is, because Charizard is just so cool. And I feel like the addition of Dragon Breath has just given it so much more play in the Premier Cup meta. You know, it's definitely improved its matchups against Garchomp and Dragonite and other dragons, and also has given it some play against Gyarados and Swampert, and it's still going to meet Metagross anyways, right? And I personally feel like Charizard now with Dragon Breath and Blast Burn is just such an absolute threat, especially to close out games. And if you can save 2 shields for it, it can pull through in most situations. So again, this was another set of battles where I had a lot of success with it. Obviously, these are still some rank 8 battles, which I did like a couple of days ago. I managed to hit rank 9 like yesterday, but I'm pretty sure most of you have hit like rank 9 by like 5 years ago maybe. But like I mentioned, you know, I wasn't doing as many PvP battles over the past week, and it's been a busy week, but I've gotten back into the swing of things. It's been a lot of fun, and Charizard's definitely putting in a lot of work. So let's just get straight into it. Okay, moving on to the first battle here. I'm going to be leading with Rhyperior, with Gyarados and Charizard in the back. It's basically the exact same team comp as I had in my previous video. It's a team that's been working really well for me. So we have Rhyperior into Togekiss, a very positive matchup because we're running Smackdown, which is going to do super effective damage because of the flying typing. They make a switch into Garchomp, we go straight into Gyarados. Again, this is again a very favorable matchup because Dragon Breath is super effective against Garchomp because of the Dragon typing. And I'm not going to shield the first one, just in case it's a Sand Tomb, but they go straight for the Outrage, which is absolutely fine because they're basically going to need another Outrage to get rid of Gyarados because Mud Shot is obviously double resisted, and so is Sand Tomb. And at this point, this seemed a little too early to be another Outrage. I'm just expecting this to be a Sand Tomb here, which is again double resisted. So we do survive that. I'm trying to go straight for the... I'm going to completely farm this thing down here. So we win switch advantage, which is really crucial because I want to make sure that my Rhyperior is lined up against their Togekiss. They come in with Gyarados. I'm going straight for the Aqua Tail. I'm really hoping this Gyarados doesn't have Waterfall because that's going to be extremely tricky for my backline. Luckily, it's just a Dragon Breath Gyarados, which is pretty good because Rhyperior obviously has a positive matchup against it. And I'm going straight for the Surf here, hoping to get their first shield. Even though it's resisted, should probably get the first shield from the Gyarados, as it does there. And Charge Move coming through, absolutely going to shield this up because Rhyperior is double weak to water. So I'm just going to try and completely farm this Gyarados down, hoping that I can farm it down before they can get to another Charge Move. Unfortunately, they're able to get to another Charge Move, so I'm going to have to double shield here, which is absolutely fine. It is an Aqua Tail, and I'm going to try and completely farm this thing down. We have a Surf ready to go. So I'm actually going to go straight for the Rock Wrecker here, just in case they don't shield, because it would pretty much one-shot it if it goes unshielded here. Does get the shield, which is absolutely fine, and trying to completely Smackdown farm this thing down, but I'm going to switch to Charizard just in case they don't overfarm. And Charge Move coming through. Now, even if this is Ancient Power, it's not going to KO Charizard from this range. Luckily, it's just an Aerial Ace, so they're probably not running Ancient Power, which is pretty interesting. And I'm going straight for the Dragon Claw here. I know even though it's double resisted, it should probably be enough to take out the Togekiss from this range, as it does there. And we take the win. Could have probably gone for the Blast Burn to play it safe, but I was kind of nervous just in case they overfarm. They probably had another Charge Move ready to go, but we had that game anyway. So as you can see, it was pretty tricky, especially if you can win lead with this team. You're going to win in most situations, but let's see what happens when we lose the lead, right? Now, we have Rhyperior into Swampert. Now, this is arguably the toughest lead for this team because my only counter in this team is Gyarados. So I'm going to switch to Gyarados to catch the Hydro Cannon here. So I'm essentially switching into my hard counter, which is not the best idea because they can basically switch out, and I basically have no answers to Swampert. I mean, my backline basically has no play against Swampert, right? But that's where Dragon Breath Charizard comes into play here. So I'm actually going to let the Dragon Claw go through, and then I'm going for the Aqua Tail. I actually could have gone for Crunch because I didn't think I would get there. For some reason, I panicked and went straight for the Aqua Tail, and they don't shield that, which is understandable. So I'm going to come back with Rhyperior, obviously, and then completely Smackdown farm this Dragonite down. I'm not going to shield this because Dragon Claw isn't going to do that much. I'm obviously more worried about Hydro Cannon at this point. So I'm just going to completely farm the Dragonite down. And then Swampert is going to come back in. I'm going straight for the Surf here. Let's see if this gets the shield from the Swampert. I'm hoping they let this go through, but unfortunately they do shield that up. And I'm really trying to get to another Surf here, but they're able to get to a Charge Move first. So Hydro Cannon is obviously super effective. So it's going to finish off my Rhyperior. And this is where Charizard with Dragon Breath can actually beat Swampert with 2 shields, right? So basically we have a almost full health Swampert with the shield and also a full health Pokemon in the back to deal with. So obviously you're going to shield the Hydro Cannon here, and then this is going to overfarm a little bit and then throw the Dragon Claw. And this should probably get the final shield from Swampert as it does there. And really trying to get to another Dragon Claw. Unfortunately, they're able to get to another Hydro Cannon first. So I'm going to shield this up. Obviously, and I'm hoping whatever is in the back is weak to Charizard, and they have a Metagross in the back. So this is perfect. So what I'm going to do right now is basically my only win condition is to overfarm and then build up to almost 2 Blast Burns, because I need to have that energy advantage to make sure that I get to that second Blast Burn before they can get to a Hydro Cannon on the Swampert. So I'm almost building up to the second Blast Burn. I'm going to throw the Blast Burn here. It's obviously super effective because of the Steel typing, and should pretty much one-shot Metagross as it does there. And because we overfarmed, I'm able to get to the second Blast Burn just in time here, and this is definitely going to finish off Swampert. So we basically survive with like 1 HP and to take the win there, but I had to overfarm on the Metagross, right? Because Swampert would have obviously beat me to the Hydro Cannon, and that's just how dangerous Charizard with Dragon Breath can be to close out games, especially when you have 2 shields for it. So we have Rhyperior into Mamoswine, not a good lead again. So I'm going to switch to Gyarados to catch the Avalanche here. Now Avalanche is going to do heavy neutral damage because of the water and flying typing. And they're still staying in this matchup, which is pretty interesting. So I'm trying to get to an Aqua Tail here, but unfortunately we lose CMP. So I'm obviously going to shield this up because I want to land this Aqua Tail or get their first shield. Let's see what they decide to do here. They're obviously still staying in. So I'm going straight for the Aqua Tail, and this gets the shield from the Mamoswine. And they make a switch into their own Gyarados. It is a Waterfall Gyarados, so I'm going straight for the Crunch. Now, this is a very tricky situation, right? Because like I said, Waterfall Gyarados can be a real problem for this team because both Rhyperior and Charizard obviously have terrible matchups against it. Luckily, they let the Crunch go through, which is really good. So I'm going straight for the Surf here. Now, this is probably going to get the shield from the Gyarados because they have so much loaded energy as it does there. And I'm going to try and Smackdown farm this thing down, but unfortunately, they're able to get to a Charge move first. So I'm going to let this go through, because 1 Dragon Breath should pretty much finish it off from this range. Actually, they go down first, which is absolutely fine. And they have a Garchomp in the back. So this is absolutely perfect, right? Now, again, the key in this matchup is to make sure that I call the Sand Tomb bait correctly. I'm going to risk it and call the bait, and it is a Sand Tomb. So this is huge. And at this point, I'm going straight for the Dragon Claw here. Now, this is obviously super effective because of the Dragon typing. And should do about 30 to 40% of Garchomp's health. Does about 30%. Which is absolutely fine. They actually make a switch into their Mamoswine. I'm going straight for the Dragon Claw here. Now, Mamoswine is obviously pretty glassy, and Dragon Claw should probably finish it off from this range. Almost finishes it off, and it's pretty straightforward here because I'm going to shield this up. This is probably just going to be a Sand Tomb bait, but I'm not going to risk it because they're not going to get to another Outrage because Dragon Breath is definitely going to finish it off there. So another situation, as you can see, I mean, Charizard with 2 shields can be really solid to closing out games. It can deal with so many things. As you can see, it can even beat Swampert, right? When you have a 2 shield advantage. So yeah, it was pretty crazy to see, how well it's been performing. It's definitely, I mean, this is a game that I couldn't have won if I was running Fire Spin. You definitely needed Dragon Breath on it to basically beat Garchomp towards the end there. But yeah, that's what makes it worthwhile. So anyways, moving into the next battle here. We are 3-0 in the set right now. And yeah, let's move into the next one. Okay, moving on to the 4th battle here. We are 3-0 in the set right now. We have Rhyperior into Magnezone. Now, this is very favorable because the backline of this team really struggles against Magnezone. So, it's a good thing we caught it on the lead with Rhyperior. So, I'm going straight for the Surf here. Now, Mamoswine Magnezone is pretty glassy. So, does get the shield there, which is understandable. And even though Mirror Shot is super effective, I don't have to shield this because it does very minimal damage. And because Spark is double resisted, it's going to take them multiple Mirror Shots to get rid of Rhyperior. So I'm going to let this go through as well. It's absolutely fine. It's going to basically take them 2 more Mirror Shots to get rid of Rhyperior. So I'm going straight for the Surf here. Now, let's see if this gets the second shield from the Mamoswine. Actually, they let that go through, which is absolutely fine. And Charge Move coming through. It's going to be another Mirror Shot. It's going to put us pretty low, but it's not going to take us out. And Smackdown is definitely probably going to finish off the Magnezone from this range as it does. This is perfect, right? Now, at this point, we win Switch advantage and Shield advantage, which is crucial. So they come in with Metagross. I go straight into Charizard here, and they make a switch into their Dragonite. I'm going straight into Gyarados. So again, a very positive situation to be in. We have a shield advantage as well. So I'm obviously going to shield this up because Charizard doesn't need shields to beat Metagross. So I'm going straight for the Crunch. Let's see if this gets the shield from the Dragonite. I'm actually hoping they let this go through because Dragonite is more of a threat than Metagross is at this point. Luckily, they do let that go through. So Charge Move coming through. This is going to be a Dragon Claw. It's not going to finish off Gyarados, so I'm not going to shield this. Does put us pretty low, but Dragon Breath is going to finish off Dragonite. And Metagross comes in. I'm able to get to an Aqua Tail. I'm hoping this gets the shield from the Metagross so that my Charizard has a clear path to land the Blast Burn, but unfortunately doesn't get the shield, which is absolutely fine. So I'm going to come back into Charizard, and then I'm obviously going to shield this up, because even though Meteor Mash is resisted, it's still going to do a lot of damage. And I'm basically going to have to bait here. So I'm going to build up a little extra energy and then bait with Dragon Claw, Meteor Mash coming through. This is going to put Charizard pretty low, but it's going to be pretty close, right? So it's going to put us extremely low here. I'm really hoping this gets the shield from the Metagross, because if it doesn't get the shield, then we're probably going to lose this. But luckily it gets the shield. So at this point, we're able to get to a Blast Burn just in time here. Again, with 1 HP and a dream, as Zionic would say. We're able to get the Blast Burn off, and then that's going to take out the Metagross. So once again, Charizard with 1 HP coming in super clutch to close out games. And yeah, that's 4-0 in this set. So let's see if we can make it 5-0. That's going to be pretty hype, because yeah, even though these are just some rank 8 battles, these were pretty competitive and intense. And yeah, we have the final battle here. Again, a very favorable matchup. We have Rhyperior into Togekiss doing super effective damage with these smackdowns. They're still staying in for some reason. And typically in most situations when they stay in, I stay in with Rhyperior. I don't throw the charge move, because we can definitely tank an Ancient Power. I don't know why they weren't able to get off a charge move there. So they've probably overfarmed a little bit. But we have 2 back-to-back serves ready to go. The first one does get the shield, which is really crucial. So I'm going straight for the second one here. I don't want to switch out, because I want to maintain switch advantage and make sure that my Charizard is lined up against their Metagross. So I'm just trying to get to another surf here. Unfortunately, we're not able to get it. And this Metagross has a lot of loaded energy right now. And they actually make a switch into their Dragonite, and I go straight into Gyarados. Again, very favorable matchup, right? Because we have a shield advantage as well. And I'm obviously going to shield this up and really trying to get off this crunch before they can get to another Dragon Claw. So we're able to get to this crunch here. This is going to do neutral damage to Dragonite. I'm hoping they let this go through again. As they do that, which is absolutely perfect. And we can probably just Dragon Breath farm this thing down. And Metagross comes in. It's pretty much GG's at this point. They have very minimal health. I'm actually going to let this go through, because we can definitely survive it, whatever it is. And we should be able to get off this Aqua Tail here, which I'm able to. This is probably almost for sure going to get the shield from Metagross, because they're not going to let this one go through. And because they shielded that, it's absolutely fine, because I should be able to get to the Blast Burn. I'm going to shield this up. I can probably survive this Meteor Mash as well, but I'm not going to risk it. I could probably flex, but I don't want to do it. So I'm just going straight for the Blast Burn here. Obviously super effective because of the steel typing, and should pretty much take out the Metagross from this range. So as you can see, Charizard pretty much finished off games almost every single time in this set. Maybe for the first game it didn't play as much of a role, but as you saw, I mean, even in situations where we lost the lead, we managed to recover, because Charizard with 2 shields was basically able to take out 2 full health Pokemon in the back down a shield, right? So that's just how OP it is. Again, hopefully this kind of helps in helping you figure out if Charizard is worth it. I mean, if you have 100% IV1, I would certainly recommend, investing in Elite TM on it if you have it. Like I said, it's not the most essential Pokemon, but it's definitely a Pokemon that's worth having in your arsenal. So anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.